Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentary today sparked a transatlantic war of words over whether the royal family were given the chance to properly respond to incendiary claims made by the Sussexes. A senior source insisted Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace and members of the family were not approached for comment on content in the six-part series, in a devastating blow to its credibility. However, a Netflix source has insisted the communications offices for the King and the Prince of Wales were contacted in advance and given the chance to react to Harry and Meghan's claims within the series. Kensington Palace then responded by saying that they had an email from a third-party production company, not Harry and Meghan's Archewell Foundation or Netflix. The Prince of Wales aides then contacted the Sussexes and the streaming giant to verify if it was genuine, but got no reply. In the absence of this verification, we were unable to provide any response. The substance of the email we received also did not address the entire series, a source said. A Buckingham Palace source has also disputed the Sussexes' claims that the royals were asked to comment. The row began when at the beginning of episode 1, for around 20 seconds, the screen went black apart from the words. Members of the royal family declined to comment on the content within the series. The insider added that, for now, there will be no official comment from the King or the Prince of Wales on its incendiary contents, including allegations of racism and unconscious biases, and a series of barbs aimed at Charles, William, Kate Middleton and other royals. Harry said his family also failed to understand that his wife-to-be needed protection against racist attacks. The series and the row over right of reply reveals just how badly relations have broken down between the Sussexes and the royal family. One source told the Mirror of William and Harry. Sadly, it shows the gulf between the two brothers couldn't be wider. Meghan and Harry today used their $100 million deal with the streaming giant to launch fresh swipes at the royal family in Britain in shows being described as transatlantic TV bombs holed at the firm. Episode 1 began with a pointed attack on Buckingham Palace with a statement on screen claiming members of the royal family declined to comment on the content within this series. But hours after the first 3 episodes began streaming, royal officials in London insisted they were never asked to respond at all. The source was clear that neither Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace nor any member of the family were approached for comment on the content of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's Netflix series. The team at Kensington Palace, who work for Prince William and Kate, later clarified that they had received an email from a third-party production company about the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. The press team contacted Archewell and Netflix to verify if it was genuine, but got no reply. The email did not contain the substance of allegations in the entire series. As part of their $100 million deal with Netflix, the privacy-conscious couple have handed over a trove of pictures and video from their relationship, including the moment Harry proposed in 2017 and filming himself in the VIP lounge at Heathrow as he emigrated in March 2020. The first 3 episodes contain a series of barbs that will upset his father King Charles III, including Harry's claim that he was literally brought up by a second family in Africa, where he chose to spend 3-month stints in his late teens and 20s as he came to terms with his mother's death. Harry also describes a huge level of unconscious biases in the royal family, with reference to Princess Michael of Kent wearing an offensive Blackamoor-style brooch in front of his wife at Buckingham Palace. There is also a suggestion that the UK is racist and more obsessed with race than the US, with Meghan declaring that she wasn't really treated like a black woman until she came to Britain. And in a swipe at the choice of wives by his male relatives, viewed as an attack on his father and other senior royals, perhaps even his brother William, Harry insisted that his decision to marry Meghan sets him apart from his family because it was from his heart and not because she would fit the mold. He said his wife, being an American actress, clouded his family's view of her and they believed it wouldn't last. The Duke of Sussex said, "I think for so many people in the family, especially obviously the men, there can be a temptation or an urge to marry someone who would fit the mold as opposed to somebody who you perhaps are destined to be with. The difference between making decisions with your head or your heart. And my mum certainly made most of her decisions, if not all of them, from her heart. And I am my mother's son." There will also be some aspects of the series that will likely anger Prince William, including his younger brother's decision to use a clip from their mother's BBC interview with Martin Basher, which the Prince of Wales said should never be shown again after she was duped into taking part. Justifying the decision, Harry told his documentary, "She felt compelled to talk about it, especially in that Panorama interview. I think we all now know that she was deceived into giving the interview, but at the same time she spoke the truth of her experience." Meghan also hits out at the formality of the royals, describing meeting the Prince and Princess of Wales wearing torn jeans and bare feet. Discussing what happened, she said, "I was a hugger. I've always been a hugger. I didn't realize that is really jarring for a lot of Brits." She also admits to being baffled by the formality of meeting the Queen for the first time, claiming she thought Harry was joking when she learned she had to bow or curtsy, and comparing her first meal at Windsor to a medieval times dinner and tournament. The highly anticipated series is being put out in 2 parts, with the first 3 episodes of the 6-part docu-series now available to stream online. The series contains tears from Meghan, who Harry repeatedly compares to Princess Diana, claiming that both his mother and wife were being hunted by the press. Meghan also claims that as an American, she found the formality of being in the royal family surprising, declaring that meeting the Queen for the first time was a shock to the system. She said Harry had told her in the car, "You know how to curtsy, right? And I just thought it was a joke," she said. They also discuss Princess Michael of Kent, a Blackamoor-style brooch to a pre-Christmas event the Duchess of Sussex attended in 2017. She was forced to apologize. Harry said, "In this family sometimes you're part of the problem rather than part of the solution. And there is a huge level of unconscious bias. The thing with unconscious bias is actually no one's fault." Meghan adds, "Obviously now everyone is aware of my race because they made it such an issue when I went to the UK. Before then, I wasn't really treated like a black woman." Harry claims that his family had dismissed her when they found out she was an American actress, but he insisted he knew in his heart he would marry her because he is his mother's son. In episode 1, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex begin by filming themselves on the day they ended their royal duties in March 2020, with Harry in the VIP lounge at Heathrow as he flew to Canada. Meghan cries with a towel on her head as she declares, "I don't even know where to begin." Viewers pointed out this footage was captured 6 months before their $100 million deal with Netflix was signed in September 2020. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams told Mail Online, "There have been rumors and reports that they were planning to exploit their royal status early on. To my knowledge nothing is confirmed as fact, though it is thought that they wanted an interview with Oprah when senior working royals." Norman Baker, former MP and expert on royal finances, told Mail Online, "It may well signify a long-term plan to do something or just accumulation of stock footage. They clearly wanted to use it at some point. Their knowledge on the royal family essentially ended when they left the country and that institution. They are essentially mining the past now, not the future. They got £88 million from Netflix, so it's very clear that now want their pound of flesh." The privacy-conscious couple have given extraordinary access to the streaming giant, including a treasure trove of pictures and footage from their private lives, including of their children. There are also private texts and emails they shared at the time of their courtship. Meghan's mother Dory also speaks publicly about their relationship for the first time. The first 3 episodes also cover Harry's birth and upbringing, and he blames the media for the failure of his previous relationships. The Sussexes then describe how they get together, their engagement and then quitting as frontline royals.